Hello, everybody. Hi, Angel. Looks
Hi
like we
Matt,
have
how
looks
are
like
you?
we have a group of students back there too. I saw it briefly. Hi,
Sure.
everybody.
Hi everyone.
All right. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and I guess we'll get started. And this recording will be online, just like the other ones. So let's go ahead and start just by talking about what we're going to be talking about tonight. So let me go ahead and get to my slides here. Here we go. All right. So tonight we are going to be discussing some time management tips, going through some submission suggestions, and also talking about the judging process and also the schedule, what's going to be happening. And then we'll end, of course, with question and answers. So the first thing I want to mention is since last week, we've actually kind of alluded to some of the things when it comes to time management, and we're actually going to post this in two places. It's going to be on our main web page for Space App. So that to get to that is of course going to be on the local events, and head on over to the Dallas page. And it's not there yet, but it will be there shortly. And
Well, 70 participating.
yeah, that's great. All right, cool. So here we can see, we have a lot of great details, and this is some place that we are able to post information, but we can't communicate through it. So in addition to that, like we mentioned last time, the Space Apps Connect is using GitHub to be able to communicate there, and we'll be able to post things here as well. So I'll be posting at both places. I'll put that link as well that we're going to show in just a moment. But just wanted to let you know, here's so we can watch those other replays from the past couple of weeks, and I'll put today's as a reply in here as well. Feel free to post any questions. Both myself and some other team members like Helen are also going to be able to answer any questions you guys might have. This is how we can communicate with you guys if you have questions about the process or things like that. So that will be all done through our page here. But the thing, oh yeah, sorry, Angel, you're going to say something. You're just saying yeah.
Yeah, I just would like to highlight some most important thing in the last two brief meetings. The first one will focus more from the registration and tell how to form a good team and how to check all the challenges. The second one will be more deep, talking about how to submit your project and how to create a great video. And we have a lot of winners project, and we'll let you know that how to make your project as good as you can. And the one that's today we're gonna more focusing on excuse me, I have to mute people here. Okay, so the last one we will just more focus on the real-time management and some very important tips like today. So all the whole meetings replay we'll find on our main page.
That's right. The thing I wanted to show to everyone today is going to be we have a Google link, and I'll put this in the chat right now. But this Google link will also be posted in those places as soon as possible as well. And we'll just kind of go through what this looks like here. Oh, it looks like someone's having some audio troubles. This will be a video afterwards as well. So if you can't hear us now, that's okay. All right, so here, this is just an example of something you can use as like a template that you can copy and adjust as what you want to do. So to make a copy of this, you can just make a copy and make those adjustments. So you won't be able to edit this one, but you can always just go up to File and make a copy, and that way you can convert and change whatever you want. So let's just walk through what this looks like as an example. And of course, talking with your team and figuring out your mentors, like how that schedule is going to look. This is let's just go through that. So the first part here, I'll read for everybody. Mentors can be an instructor, parent, or another person outside of your group. These check-ins are optional, but it helps your team keep accountable on milestones, the different main tasks that need and that all need to be reached at different times throughout the weekend. That way you're not trying to do everything on the last day. And note that mentors should not be doing any of the work, but rather act as a sounding board for participants on what comes across clear or needs additional information. So as teams, these chances to check in are great places to say, hey, here's where we are now. Here's our idea. How's that sound? And then the mentor can say, great, I understand what you're saying, or this didn't make any sense, you might need more work on that, then the teams can continue that as well. So let's walk through what this might look like in your schedule. So of course, everybody should eat, of course, every day. So we got breakfast in the morning right before it starts. Last year we did like an opening ceremony. This year we might have some videos if you guys want to watch those. As all optional. But the work actually starts at 9. But you want to make sure that everyone's communicating, ready to have like a little countdown or whatever you want to do. But don't start until 9 a.m. on that first day, on Saturday. From 9 to 10:30, the teams will brainstorm. That's where everyone showcases, hey, I have this idea, I have this idea. We all start sharing those ideas and also defining, at this point, you should already know like what your strength is within your team, and also really start defining and narrowing down those ideas. But the brainstorm phase is more about like, here's all of our possible ideas and kind of pick the ones that you feel the strongest for as a team. Then you start coming up with that plan. That's where you narrow it down, start voting, figuring out what you're actually going to, show on the NASA's hackathon for this page. That first check-in, we recommend around right before lunch, check-in number 1, to present that plan and say, hey, here's what we're thinking. Here's our idea. Here's all the different roles. And then you can get that feedback from the mentor. Great. The mentor might say, okay, great. All that's very clear. You guys have that. Or if there's a piece missing, say, hey, okay, make sure to focus on this piece so we can everyone can have these things, these little milestones, these sections set and ready to go. Then, of course, everyone should break for lunch. Good always to take that break. As a side note, at the end of this page, you'll probably notice that there's some break ideas. So here's a couple suggestions. Feel free to add whatever you want, but it is a good idea to not constantly work on all the time. Any type of work is actually done better when you take breaks. And that's where you come back, you do something different, as you see some here. Make sure you're keeping hydrated, do some exercise, and then come back. Eating, of course, is a break as well. Make sure to schedule these breaks in throughout your working time as well, so you don't get burned out. You don't want that. After you come back from lunch break, you go back to creating with your team. This part, it's going to look different on what each team has decided in their plan. Maybe some people are going to start gathering materials for the video, like some of the pictures, drawing the pictures, or gathering the information, or start sketching out some ideas, start outlining some things, drawing out those concepts. If you have some code planned, you can kind of start to come up with a first version of code and a demo. And then after around 3 to 5, already you should be starting to fill out that project submission page. And then, of course, have a dinner break. We recommend having a mentor check-in or right after dinner break, some time between 6 to 8, and discuss what happened and revise goals of what people are going to do later that night, right before they go to bed, or what they're planning to do before they meet in the morning, and make sure that you're creating, but also make sure to get a good night's sleep as well. The next day, kind of similar. You have your breakfast. Have your maybe have a pep talk. We once again start working and as a team. Start brainstorming and reviewing what you need to do for that day, like what still needs to be done. Start revising some of the other versions. Remember, I mentioned last time too to publicly post your page as you fill out all the main information, and then continue to repost it. Because like we said last week, there's been many teams that forgot to click on publish, and the work wasn't seen. So make sure that you are publishing, and you can republish, and that overwrites it each time up until that deadline. So make sure that to keep publishing those constantly. Also, make sure to have that another mentor check-in, maybe a lunch break, and start working on that demo video that you have. The other check-in here we have around kind of ending towards the late afternoon. Mentor can start, as the team is kind of explaining what they have or have not done. The mentor can maybe quickly see, okay, this part really, there's nothing there. You need to fill that part out and make sure all the pages, parts of the page are filled out. Then, of course, continue finalizing that project. at this point, at the end of the night, you see we have some extra time. Of course, we can continue to revise and upgrade. And also, the actual deadline isn't till midnight, but don't wait until that long. You might fall asleep and then you wake up and it's the next day and you miss the deadline. So make sure that you get that done before you go to bed. But that's why we recommend having a mentor that you can check in with and have that ability to share your ideas. So this is just an outline. You of course can adjust it and be thinking about everyone's timeline. If someone isn't available for a certain amount of time, or if you want to adjust these times, feel free to make a copy of this, adjust it so your team has a schedule, a plan, and when you're meeting your mentors or you're talking to that other person outside the team that is just being the soundboard for this, make sure you have all that stuff scheduled and ready to go. So when the actual work starts, this won't trip you up. All right, cool. So great. And if you guys have any questions on this, feel free to put it in the chat as well, or post it on our GitHub discussion board too. I'll put that, as I said, a link to that in there, as well as on the YouTube video too. So you guys will all have a chance to be able to see this list, adjust it, and make it your own. Okay, so hopefully it helps you guys. I know the past couple of years we've been refining this over the past few years, and it's helped out a lot of teams. Especially, we want to avoid people waiting till the end and then publishing or trying to remember to publish at the end, because we've seen that trip people up. So we make sure people have fun time with this.
Besides the time arrangement, we would like to share something about the space arrangement as well. So we are solving the space problem, but we need a space to solve space problems. So that space could be your home or your friend's home, just make a space. And also like you need to set the space like something you need. So definitely you need the computer, because in the research on the computer, maybe coding on computer, create on computer. And if you really have something you want to build with your hand, you also need some other materials. Make sure you can prepare well these materials. Like last year, we have somebody needed a hardboard, or they need a wax part. Just prepare well about this kind of thing. And also, if you need a food, drink, prepare as much as you can. And I can share with you guys a video about the Water Top Award winners, how their space looks like when they making their own project. Let's see the video here, so you can feel what kind of space it will be. Totally a mess. A big, huge table with a lot of mess. And after a tiled preparation, they need a power music. So actually, this is a moment nearing the end before the submission. So after a tiled working of nearing 2 days, they're actually very tired, and you can see the space totally a mess, but you can feel like they need a water, drink, like some fruits, and they need the computers. And that's how they works out the top award project to solve the space problem. And yeah, so I hope you guys have fun. And yeah, so this time Dallas will host the event virtually, which means you need to find out your own space to solve the space problem.
All right, one of the questions I do want to address for those watching the video, I see is someone was asking, that there was going to be an instructor, like an adult, that's going to do some of the programming. As a mentor, you can't do that, because if you're doing any type of programming, you should be a team member. The way to check who's listed on the team is by going to your team page and finding out. Remember that a team should be max, I think it was 6. Was that right, Angel? But that will be on the page here. Let me jump back over to it.
Yeah, 6 will be the max number of a team. So yes, unfortunately, you cannot just like as an outside person, help the team, but they don't really have a limitation to limit the person's background or the age can join with the team. So even you are, working for NASA, you can also have a team working together to solve this kind of problem. It doesn't matter. So if you really want to help the kids for coding, just join the team. That's good. And every year we'll see some family team winners. So remember, Matt, last time when we joined the NASA headquarters celebration party, and there was a father bring his son to the celebration party because they are a team.
That's right. So yeah, the question, hopefully that answer that question. You can always make sure that you are a team member, and it's okay if there's age differences. And as Angel said, there's all sorts of great examples from people working. The mentor idea is someone that isn't part of that team that they can soundboard against. But remember, no, the mentor shouldn't not be doing any of the work. They shouldn't be any typing, shouldn't be doing any type of extra brainstorming with the team. They're meant as the person to hear the idea, so that way the teams can have that practice of sharing the idea. Because remember, what's going to happen ultimately is as a team, your information is going to be put on the page that is going to be shared with the judges, and the judges have to understand your idea. So the mentor is acting as a mini judge, so to speak, to help make sure your idea is clear and kind of help keep you on track to make sure all your all the forms or all the different sections are filled out. Because if there's some text that's not there or it's in the wrong spot, that will cause problems down the line. One of the things I did want to mention as well that's been an update since last time is that the last week I kind of said, oh, there wasn't a section yet for the project submission, and it arrived a couple days later. So it's been a few days now. It's been up there. So let me head back to the main site so I can show you how to get to that information. In fact, I contacted them. You guys might remember there wasn't an all resources. I contacted them and said, you guys need to put all resources back in there. They did. So I'm so thankful for that. So if you click on all resources here, that'll take you right to all the different sections. They've got it organized really nicely. And right here is the piece that was missing last week that is pretty much like it was last year, but it talks all about the different aspects of the things that you need to do for the page that is going to be expected. It's not live yet. I can't access it, but I can see what's going to be on there. So I just want to give you guys a quick sneak peek, but I definitely encourage everyone to check this out. Go to all resources, and you'll see this new project submission guide that walks through all the different aspects of it, okay? So I'm not gonna go through all of it because there's a lot of details in there, but it does clearly outline what it's gonna look like. And here I can click on this expand all, and it says the different headings and what they're looking for. So this is very similar to what we kind of shared last week, but this is the current version, the new one for this year, and you can see all that information in here. And all of these different fields that are going to be on that ultimate form have to be filled out, and especially using listing where the information came from. This is a really big one. Oftentimes you do all that research, you forget to put it on there. Hopefully the mentor can remind you, but remind yourselves too, teams, to put that information, where you got this information, what information are you remixing, put that in there so NASA can follow if it's from them or from one of the other partner agencies, where it came from. So that's a whole point of this project, of this whole hackathon. So all that is laid out here, as well as that save progress button and then submit for judging. As it mentions here, there is a save progress, but that is not going to make the page live. So another thing that the mentor can do is check, because you're not in the team, you can go to that page and see if it's live and see if you can see it. And also test those links, make sure they work for you. You'd never want to do things like put on a YouTube link that's only private, that the judges can't see, right? You want to make sure that that link is available so they can see it. And also make sure that that button submit for judging is done. And remember, you can submit and then you can resubmit and update it all the way until the end of the hackathon. So they mentioned that a couple of things on here. They do have a lock button if you want to do that as well for the last final one, but make sure that publish has been done. So all that stuff is now in there. It's so great that it's in there. But one other thing I wanted to walk through a little bit more in detail was the judging. Now they have lots of different phases of the judging. We kind of talked about that before with some previous winners, and ultimately going to the global awards. But of course, there's lots of different phases, right, and different timelines for that. So first, I wanted to let me jump back to my slides here, make sure I'm staying on track here. So the first, oh yeah.
Excuse me. So I would like to mention one question more clear about the mentor registration process. So actually, they don't really provide any way you can indicate you are a member or mentors. You just register and join a team. You will be considered like a team member. So after your submission success, the NASA will provide all certificates certifications for all the participants. So which means even you are a mentor, you join with a team, you are got these certifications. But if you didn't join a real team, even you just registered, but you didn't really join a team, you are not get the certifications from NASA as a participants or future winners. So that's something, if you care about the certifications, please pay attention. You have to register and put yourself into one team. So that's the requirement. So one question I got from the our user said like one adult already set up a team, and but actually he has 6 students want to form a team. So now he don't know how to do this. So he has to like he cannot transfer the owner of the team to the students. He had to have one of his students became a team leader to form a team, and all the other students join that team. Just that's the only way to solve this problem. So please know this process. So the NASA official website doesn't provide any way to transfer the ownership of a team. So that's how you solve the problem if you try to like fix something like this way.
Absolutely, great points. One of the things that that they are very strict on is the team size. So if you are going to be, as Angel mentioned, a mentor that is not really becoming just a mentor, but like someone that is going to be joining the team, that's going to be a different role. Remember, the mentor is the one that's really just hearing about, you can actually mentor several different teams if you like. As long as you're not doing the work for those people, right? So if you are wanting that certification, you would have to join a team. You're not a mentor at that point. You could act like a mentor within the team. If you're like the adult and the rest are younger students, you can definitely still hear the ideas and help guide people. So that is definitely a possibility. So yeah, keep in mind all those things there. All right, so for the judges, I just want to review. Let me jump back to our Dallas page really quick here. Last week we kind of walked through a few different judges. We introduced the judge team. In fact, all that is on our page too. If you scroll down on our main page here, you see towards the bottom, you see our judges this year. So we have several different judges. We have what they do, what their credentials are. We have some really cool, we have someone working for NASA, right? So we have some people in there working for different departments, still helping us judge for this location. So what will happen? Each location is going to have different judges. So our 3 are these 3 here: Jonathan Jiang, Haiti Milani, Elise Cornwall. Hopefully I'm saying those names right. Those are our teams, and you can read all about them, or those are all the judges that will look at those final projects after the hackathon has ended. So the hackathon is, you don't worry about, oh, if I publish it, the judges will see it right away. No, they don't. They don't look at it until the hackathon has ended officially. Then they'll take a look at those projects as they were posted and published at the last version that was published that is live. So that's something I just wanted to point out about the our location. But there's other Magic Kid locations that have their judges too. So I just wanted to I think they should have them on their page as well. I'll go ahead and take a quick peek. If not, we can take a look. And you can always contact them too if they don't have them on their page. It might, they could always be on their other subpage. But let me just jump to another place here. Let me go ahead and jump to let's see this.
I don't think they already posted on it because they gave us first.
Okay, great. All right, well, I'll do a preview. This will be a preview for it. So this is one of the San Marino location. This is our San Marino location. So this is one of the judges here, Sherman Chan, and he is an engineer, looks like, and he is very excited about technology. So this will be a great. It's always great to have all these different judges with different backgrounds, and they can come at these looking at all the different criteria. And from their own perspective, right? So all the judges is they're coming off of thinking about how the project comes across from the different teams and kind of judging those and numbering and numbering them. I'll show you that where that information is on the Space Apps website too. And even it says some things that he likes to do for fun as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one here. Next one here is Frank Chen. This is one of each location will have 3 judges. To kind of balance things out. So here we go. Frank Chen is a seasoned chemical engineer and scientist at Thermo Fisher Scientific. And it looks like he has quite the pedigree of other information in a green belt too. All right, great. So yeah, a lot of great information giving the teams an idea who is going to be looking at your projects for your location. Let me jump to the third one here. All right. Eric Zhang, a business intelligence engineer at Trade Desk, and it excels at leveraging data to shape strategies and drive key business decisions. All right, great. So this will be someone maybe when it looks at how you're using data, or that might be really interesting for him. And if he can bring his expertise on how he comes across when he judges those as well. All right, so that's San Marino. Let's take a look at next one here. Oh, here's another San Marino. Great. We'll have an additional judge. Awesome. Great. Here we go. And this is Joanna C. Yu, and looks like an academic director specialized in health insurance policy and healthcare strategy. Oh, great. Great. So someone who knows all about how research is done and how ideas come across into fruition. So this is a great judge to also take a look at these ideas that potentially could go, all these ideas that you guys have could potentially go all sorts of places, right? As Angel mentioned, and it was last week or week before, one of the games that the kids created is we're going to make into a real game. So I'm super excited for that when that's completed. All right, cool. So that was another sneak peek from San Marino. One of the all this information eventually will go on the website, and if those pages, you can look up the location for whatever it is location you're looking at, or if it's not there yet, sometimes there's a little bit of delay as we publish it on the website for that part, just so everyone knows. You can always head on over to the discussion page and ask that question. Hey, who's judging this? And they can always quickly reply here on their page. Okay, so this is Dallas once again. I'll put the link in our chat. But to get to this, I'll show that as well for everybody again, just as a quick recap. So once you're logged in and you have that this is like your profile page, I have the link to that Space Apps Connect, and that will take me to the main page. And then from there, they have it all broken down to all the different people looking for teams, all sorts of great information. And right here, we got local events. And this is where once you've clicked on this, you can then do a search, because trying to find them is going to be a little difficult because there's lots of them. So I usually just go up here into the search box and type in whatever it is. So for example, if I was going to type in San Marino, I could just type it in here. Let's see, San Marino. Here we go. And it should pull it up. No, it didn't. Okay, maybe it's the one where. All right. Well, if it's not there yet, you can always, we'll post it. Maybe I'm misspelling or something like that. I'm going to try a different one here. I'm going to Chino Hills here. See if theirs is up as well. All right, let's take a look here. All right. Oh, not coming up. Maybe I'm doing it wrong here. Oh, I'm looking at challenges. Aha, that's the problem. All right, here I am going too fast. Sorry, guys. No wonder it wasn't working. Local, it should say local events. There we go. Let's try San Marino again here. All right, hopefully this is the golden ticket here. It's not working. That's right. All right, try some more here. All right, if this isn't working, that's all right. It might be I'm going it too quickly here, trying to do a quick recap. Well, it looks like it's not showing it for some reason, but it will be here. And if not, you can always post it on ours at least, and we can kind of link to maybe it just needs to be reloaded. not sure what's happening, but that's where it normally is. So if you guys are looking for a different location, head on over to the local events, and you can try to search. Maybe it'll work on your side, or maybe it'll be down there as well once it's reloaded or something. So that's where it will be. And of course, you might also have other information on the main page, as I showed how we have ours listed out on our main page on the Space Apps. All right, so the next thing I did want to mention, though, is a little bit more about the judging process. So, and how the schedule is going to work for that. So the first thing is, of course, knowing who your judges are. And then the second thing is, well, what are they looking at? All right, so this information is on Space App's website, so I'll head back there. I'm going to head on over to All Resources again. I love this tab. I'm so glad they put it in. And there is a section down here called Judging and Awards, and it clearly outlines what it is that they're looking for at the events. So there's lots of different criteria, and the judges basically look at these different types of criteria and just kind of assign a number of what they feel that team is shown on all the different projects. And depending on the size of the event and how many submitted projects were submitted successfully, the judges will look at those final projects that were actually completed, because there's unfortunately a lot of teams that sign up and don't complete, or they forget the wrong button and their work is not shown live. So so there's a lot of criteria that they look at. And what will happen is they will start to select the top projects, and those top projects will eventually go on to other types of judging on other tiers as it kind of goes up. The highest ones that for each location are going to be things like the submitted for the global judging, right? There's each location can only submit a certain amount of teams to be looked at by NASA. Everyone's team information is still going to be seen on the website, but the judging, the way it's structured is the judges for NASA only look at the top ones from each location. So keep that in mind. You want to make sure that your work is as high as it can go, and that's what's going to happen here at the local event. Oops, let me jump back here. And the information that we have here, as I mentioned, it's all that information that they have posted on the page. Oh, here we go. Judging criteria. This is what I was looking for. Judging criteria. Here we go. This is the information that they're looking at. They have how much the impact can this project have? Is it solving a problem that's big or little? The creativity, how creative it is. So these are the things that the judges are actually looking at. Their wording is strictly look exactly like this, and they're just having a scale of 1 to 10. They're judging all the teams. Teams, you probably won't see these numbers, but you will only see the results when they're posted, because each judge might have different numbers, right? Maybe one judge sees a team is really high, another judge sees a team is maybe medium tier. All those numbers are kind of combined together and figured, and all those numbers from all those different types of judges work together to find out who rises to the top in the highest ranking of all of these things here. And there's lots of other criteria that that go into this, but this is how they list it out as a judge. So we have all this information from these different standards here. Of course, this only is for those teams that have successfully filled out all of the different sections. Remember, there's the different parts of the page. So once again, to see this, all resources down over here, and then that was just looking at judging criteria. All right, and that's where I just was just now. They also talked about the different phases, as I mentioned, but the one that we're going to focus on is the local event. Once it's been submitted to global judging, it's out of, we don't know what happens. The timeline on that is a little bit different because it depends on the amount of teams. But the thing I can share is how our location at the Dallas location is going to work with this one. So let me head on back to our page here, and I'll show you how ours is going to work. All right, so after the hackathon ends on October, it's only 7th and the 8th of this weekend. After that happens, everything's closed. The teams can no longer post to the page. There's no changes that are allowed to be made, even if it's linked out. Do not make any changes, because that has disqualified teams in the past. I really want to emphasize that. We mentioned that before, but do not be tempted to quickly adjust a spelling error or add something, that they will find out, and they have disqualified teams who even made it to the top. They've talked about this in the team meetings before with NASA. They said, unfortunately, they can see, and there are many ways of looking and finding out if something has changed, if a website has changed, if a piece of information is changed after the hackathon, it's disqualified. It's a disqualifying event. So even if you had a high-ranking thing, they can disqualify you and you lose all that those chances. So do not make any changes after the date, even if it goes outside of the website. A lot of this page is pointing to other places. Do not make changes outside of that. So after that is all done, October 9th, next day, that's when our judges will start taking a look at the finished projects that are publicly available. Right now, I think we had 7 teams on Dallas' website. It's going to continue to add more as we kind of get closer to the date. And whatever teams submit, those are the ones that our judges are going to take a look at. That judging, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I would like to mention what kind of award we'll be sending out. So actually, it's decided by each location. And they will suggest all the team will be use the title of this award like the same way like this: the best use of science, the best use of data, art, and technology. Some word like this. So you will find will use the same way like they suggestion: the best mission concept, galactic impact, best use of technology. So this will be a word for the locations. And also best inspirational and best storytelling and global connection. So that also means like when you create your own project, you may focus on this part as well to make sure like your project outstanding from all the different projects. And the certifications, again, certifications will be sent directly into your registered email. So if you use an email to register this website, NASA officially will send out the certification directly to you. So you'll get the digital version and you can print them out. So for Dallas location, because this time we're virtually hosting this event, we are also we are submit all the list to NASA, and then NASA will make this like email, the award certification email to your email. Just let us know if you didn't receive one. If we announced you got a award, but you didn't receive a certification, please let us know. And that's only through the official email box from NASA directed to you. Yeah, that's the process how it be. So remember, you'll get 2 kind of certifications at least. One, if you got an award, one is the participation certification. Everyone, if you success submission, you will get that certification. The other one is the award certification. Okay, hopefully you guys get the second one. And if you got the third one, that will be global award certification.
That's right. And remember too that there's many types of global awards, right? And there's 10 different types, but even getting up to those upper tiers, like we saw last year with some of our teams, got to the upper tier, like honorable mention, still high awards. So keep in mind that those are also high honors. But as Angel mentioned, of course, each local area will have their own structure. And Dallas is going to be basically having a very similar structure for that. So after that is completed, they will have that due date of October 14th is when they're going to submit the information to NASA. Like, hey, here's our top teams, our 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever. It depends how many total teams, and then they take a percentage of that. How many are declared as the top ones for your location, as well as a people's choice, which is just like one that was really well liked, maybe didn't rank high, but was well liked by the judges. Those are all highlighted on the page, and that will be shown sometime after this. So what happens is they submit it to NASA, and then NASA, at some point when they've received all that information, they turn on that part of the page, and then everyone will be able to see it. So we won't share that information necessarily until you see it live on our page. And then you can always check back once again on our Space Apps official page that will show that. And for us, for fun, we want to make sure we celebrate everyone and don't just say, great job, goodbye, you never see us again. We want to make sure we have a great another meeting just like this one, where we come back and go through the different actual posted events, which ones will win awards, and kind of have that celebration. So we will be releasing the Zoom details for this one a little bit closer to this timeline. Once again, keep a lookout on our page for that when that goes live on that. But we are planning on having an online celebration for that to celebrate all your guys' hard work. But once again, make sure you press that submit. It's something that's so easily to think, oh, I'll make sure to get to it. As the Angel mentioned last week, we had a team last year that, oh, I'll make sure to do it. I'll make sure to do it. And then they forgot to press the button. So all that work, you want to make sure that you're always publishing it. I want to highly stress that, to make sure everyone knows about that and keeps that in mind. All right, cool. So that is the main steps. We want to make sure we can address any guys' questions you might have. So I think I saw some questions popping up already in the chat. Let me go ahead and jump over there. And also, if you think of a question later, feel free to go to our page. That is going to be our GitHub page, the Space Apps Connect as well. All right. So
I answer most of the questions.
Oh, great. Angels are, I'll go ahead and say them audibly just so other people who aren't in the meeting can't see it. Okay, so one of the questions, let me just start at the top here, make sure that I say all of them here. And if I miss one, let me know. All right, so the first question was about that mentor and a team member, that making sure if you are a mentor that's going to be participating, become a team member. Otherwise, you can just be someone who's just listening to the ideas, making sure, sharing what makes, I got all that or whatever. But make sure you're not doing work on that. I already addressed that. The other thing that I see in here is the question of, this is a great one. Do all team members have to appear in the video? And Angel, you wrote, it's not a clear requirement, but we definitely suggest it. That's partly for a couple different reasons. One is because we want to, the teams to be able to showcase what they've done, right? And if you're not in the video, it's a little hard to showcase your part of the video. Even if you're doing a small part, a group team photo can be fun, or a screenshot. One of the things that I highly recommend is doing that, as Angela mentioned as well. The other question here is, you're going to be sharing this video? Yes, we're going to be posting it right here on our page. So right now, you can go there right now, actually, our Dallas page here, our discussion page. You can see it. I'm the only one that's been posting it so far. Just a couple little videos with those links. I'm going to post the link in here as well. But feel free to post your questions in here, and one of our team members will be able to answer it as well. This is how we're going to be able to communicate, and any other publicized information will be on our main team page, which I showed earlier. Yeah, it's over here, right? Let me jump back to it. All right, so next one here, I see, is there any restriction on the technology we use in the project? That's a great question. And the answer to that one is no, there isn't. In fact, there's many different ways, as we kind of showed. One of the projects was using the Jupyter, and the girls using the green screen technology, and they used all the sorts of different technology. All of that was their idea to be able to showcase with tools they are already familiar with, or already comfortable with. So there is no, you have to use this program, you have to use that. It's whatever way that helps you showcase your idea. So and depending on the challenge.
That the technology has its own limitations.
Right, right.
So it has its own rules or limitation. They don't want people to share or use in any specific ways. Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely take a look at the challenge page, and then we'll have further information. As a quick note on that too, just as a recap, the challenge pages will be continued to be updated, actually, as well as that they'll have a section on that Space Apps Connect. So if I go to any of these projects here and I look at it today, make sure to look at it again on the actual weekend, because some things might be updated. There might be more resources available, which has happened in the past. Another video has been added. So sometimes there's videos on here from the people created, for clarification or kind of just adding some more information. So those are all things you want to double check, right before, you start working, and see if there's any other requirements that they mention. It has to do this. Your challenge has to do that. It has to use this tool. As an Angel mentioned, sometimes they do have restrictions. For the most part, though, it's pretty open. They allow a lot of flexibility, but once again, verify it with your particular challenge you're choosing. All right, the next question is, let's see. how do we check on if you're a team member or a mentor? Well, mentor wouldn't be shown on the website. That's more of a way of how you guys are organizing yourselves as a team or organizing the structure. But if you want to see what the teams look like, let me jump back to our Dallas page again. Too many tabs open here. Let's see, where was it? I think I lost it. Okay, sorry if you guys are watching me jump between all my different tabs here. I keep losing it. So
I think, Matt, we should answer this question in this way. Actually, NASA don't care whether you are a mentor or just a member. They're just considering everyone is a member of the team. So they don't have any way to sign you up like your mentor or just indicate you are a mentor. So that's not just like the other kind of competition or things. They're just considering everyone in the team is a member of the team. And also they don't really like a place to showcase exactly the job of each members. So they just keep them on the list of their team like a member. So that's something happened. So we just, because they don't have a age limitation and they don't have a background limitation. And it's not a competition just for students. Please pay attention. Also, just like I mentioned, if you are NASA staff, or if you're working in a PhD in a university, you can also join the competition. So it's no limitation at all. So just remember about this. And sometimes we do have some mentor for some student team, but if you don't really participate in any of the job, you can just keep away from the team. But if you really want to do something like a research side or like a programming side or like even just use your voice for video, you need to put yourself into the team like a team member. And any team member will got a certificate, but the certification will not showcase you are mentor. It just shows that you are participator of this event. So that's something, I hope I can answer this question clear to you. Yeah.
One thing I can mention though is if you are a mentor and even though you don't get a certification, maybe you're listening to lots of different teams. And, one year I was a mentor for I think 3 different teams, and I just kind of listened and just made sure everyone had a job and that type of a thing. Wasn't doing any of the actual work. They all said thank you to me on their page. They said thanks to Matt for being a mentor. So that is a part of us. On the submission page, there is a section for thanks and other parts. So you as a team member may say thank you, so and so for being a mentor for us. Even though they weren't a team member, they were still the role of a mentor of that soundboard is still a really important part, even though they're not doing any of the work. Having the extra ear to kind of listen to the idea and be able to for the teams to share that idea. That's the real thing that the mentors are really helping with, is allowing the team to showcase their idea and be able to say it out loud and describe what it is. So that someone outside of the team, that's why it's important, why we recommend it and why NASA recommends it as well. They also have other types of things too that they kind of mentioned, but that is something that can be put on the submission page. Even though you don't get a certification for it, they still might reference you if that team chooses to. The question of how do you check to see with the teams, I kind of showed it briefly just now, but basically you go into the team and there's a section about the team that they had set up, and then you can see which members are on there. So here we see that this is a full team of 6 members on this particular team. So whatever team page you're on, you can see those members listed on there. And that's how you know if you are a member of the team, it'll be on there. If not, you would have to join the team, and that team person would have to approve that team member to make sure that it's keeping to the people that are in that team specifically. All right, and let's see. I think that was it. I think that was the last question. All right. Well, thanks. Let's see. Is there anything else you want to share, Angel, before we say goodbye to everybody? Oh, you're on mute. Make sure unmute.
I just want to mention again, we will be on the GitHub from the beginning of that day, from 9 before 9. We'll show up, and during that 2 days, let us know if you need any supporting or if you have any questions. We'll be always online to answer all the questions. And if you want us to check about your submission before you submit, that's also okay. But we just want to make sure you submit all the parts and you don't miss anything. But we cannot check for the detail of your project. Please pay attention about this part. Last thing I want to say, good luck.
All right. Yeah, exactly. Great. Good luck, everybody. And I will see you guys on this weekend on the GitHub on the Space Apps Connect. And yeah, and then hopefully you guys see you guys on the celebration. Whether you win or not, still show up and we can celebrate all the team and all the work that you guys do.
Oh yeah, one more thing. I'm sorry. I just want to highlight one more thing. Like use this chance, communicate with all the people as much as you can. You communicate with your team member, but remember, during the competition, during the challenge, during the event, the hackathon, you have the channel open to you for each of the challenges. You can find the scientists behind the challenge, find the staff of NASA who can answer your question as well, not only us. So that's a very good opportunity for any of us to build up a connection with the, you know, the NASA staffs, the teams. And if you really build up some contribution for that project, definitely they will find you to like join their project or like become their internship or something like that. So it's really beautiful and a very, very lucky experience for everyone. I think that's just naturally happen. Just be brave to communicate, use the platform, use all the data, use all the resources as more as you can. And the other thing, all of our judges, you guys can see they are very professional, and especially like our location, like Dallas location, we have professor from Caltech, and we have professor working in the JPL, and we have a professor working in the Stanford, and we have some astronauts working in Europe Space Agency. So all that person will look at your project. That's also another great chance because they will find your talent and find what you submit. So that's also a very good opportunity for you as well. So yeah, just try the best you can do in that 2 days.
All right, exactly. And just as a cap on that one as well, what Angel was just talking about, that's back on this page. So I reloaded it and it worked. So that was back at the main Space Apps Connect, the GitHub page. And there's a challenge section here. And not all the challenges are going to be listed, but you can see questions people already starting to ask. And you can start, those conversations will be happening in there as well. So that's what Angel was talking about just now. And awesome. All right. That's it. Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.